Good evening. It's April 21st of 2022 and this is the second live stream of this week, and today we are going to refactor the Blazor Office add-in that we are going to push into the Microsoft samples repo. And so let's start the show. Welcome back for the second stream this week. Earlier this week we had the live stream about Blazor WebAssembly, building the website with Entity Framework Identity, bringing it over into the website. That was not completely succeeded, so we need to fix that next week. And why is my focus of the screen not optimal? Is that just on Twitch or? I think so. The stream is unstable. It is sharp on this one, although it also mentioned that the bitrate is a bit low. Let's move into the code window. There's a little lag on the Twitch stream is what I see. I hope it's only on my side. Let's go to the code window here. There we are. I already started Visual Studio. We have to close that again because I want to open the project. And the question is, which one is that? And I'm chewing this cough thingy. This anti-flu thingy. I hope I won't be coughing my throats out again. I think it's this one. 14, was that last week? 14? I think so, yes. Let's open it and let's go to GitHub. GitHub.com. I think I need to log in there anyway. So what did we do last week? We pushed a pull request to the Microsoft add-in samples repo, Office Dev add-in samples. Into here, there should be a pull request in there. Office add-in built on Blazor wasn't web technologies. If I look at that, there were some comments. One question is to put in copyright into the HTML, C#, JavaScript files, and also bring in some documentation, JSDoc documentation and C# function summaries. So that's all things that we can focus on. Let's make a little note here. Notepad. To do 2022 over 21 copyright right to HTML, C# and JavaScript files. And the second question was add comment JSDoc and C# function summaries to the functions and stuff that we have in the code. And the third one was to remove the duplicate manifest file to make it easier. Remove duplicate manifest file to make it easier to build and test. And skip the deployment. There we are. Headers. This is what we are going to do today, and then we are to push the repo back again. The pull request, I should say. Then go to the origin there. And we fetch the upstream. Fetch and merge. Should not affect our repo anyway. That's it. So now let's go in here. That's the README file. We can close that. For now, that is. Oh, why is this double clicking? It's not supposed to double click. Pull from origin, I think. Pull, push. There are no changes here, so we can push and pull. Sync. Origin. Good. I think we should be going like this. So there are two things. We start with the manifest thing. So the manifest collection can go. And we have already a copy of the manifest live, local I should say, into here I think. Localhost. That's good. And then we can go to the solution. I think that we can remove the build option there. Properties. No, not this one. The solution, the project. Properties. There's some build information, I think, somewhere. Build. post build event. Let's take that out. Delete. No post build event anymore in this sample. If you do want the post build event, you can always have a look at my Blazor in repo in my own GitHub environment, because that's dual deployed. That's also deployed to Azure. This one is not going to be deployed to Azure, so I delete this one here. That's it. Now we have to star.js. Oh, that's not how we can do that. What's the changes in this? I think we can close that. Also check if we have GitHub of a Nuget package updates. Are there any updates? No updates to be found, so that's good. So we can close that off as well. Then find in files. I basically want to filter all the files. Can we just filter on the files itself? What's preview selected? Oh, that's when you click on thing, then you get preview. So let's go through these files here. And he was saying HTML, but we should put it in not so much the HTML only, but also in the Razor files, I think. So if you go top to bottom, that should not be there. Connected services, no need to change that. Properties, the launch.json, localhost 1796. No need to put in comments in there. Was the question also CSS? No. Yeah, CS. Let's go here. Let's see CSS files, images. No need to put in there. The scripts we don't have any scripts because we have the local scripts. This one, this has some scripts. Let's put in the comments there. Blazor wasn't. And there's the copyright thingy. Copyright. There's the HTML. That's not what we should do in there. check one of the other files from the GitHub repo. There must be another sample using HTML. Pretty sure. Let's check the hello world thingy. Let's check Word there. There's no assets in there. There's HTML. Yes, it's put in like this. Copy. I really wouldn't mind if we put this on Microsoft's license copyright, but let's pretend that I did this. Copy. Razor. Comments in Razor. Oh. Gooch.com. Why is that not triggered by Google? Typo is easy, mate. Comments, Razor. Where's the music? There's the music. Comment. Yes, just like this. Yeah, so that's the same as HTML. So that's good. But we have a lot of Razor files. There's another one. Index Razor file. Another copy, mainly out. Oh. Why is that complaining? Okay. Is that C# comment then in import.razor? That's interesting. You might wonder why it's called Razor then, because it's no markup. think there's no one with code anymore here. Comment in imports.razor. You can have multiple imports razor files in different folders. Different subfolders. The file is imported into all .razor files in that folder and below. Okay. Comments. Go to the imports razor thingy there. That's not allowed either. Oh, that's accepted, I think. System and Blazor add-in. Could do the same here. That looks better. No, I think the one-liner looks better. Like this. That's about it for the Blazor Blazor files. This one. Okay, let's check. CSS, no copyright needed there. Scripts folder basically is empty, but you can put some global things in there. More JavaScript files there. Oh. And another JavaScript file. And another JavaScript file. CSS. Program. Now let's go over them once more. The read my file. Some empty lines here. She says no need to do that. Hero Parker. I think this one is not used, so we can remove that. The script folder is empty. HTML. The razor, C#, this one needs one. Come on. A space, it should be a space in there, so replace all 6 occurrences. C#, this one needs one comment file, comment thingy. Then hello world has C#. And another one bites to dust. No more. Now to go to the JavaScript files. This one already has one. This one already has one. Hello world. This one needs one. That already had one. Oh, there's another one. Control H. No. Control Shift H. Copy. Put a space in the after the dot, and this already has a space. Replace all. Okay. Close. That looks better. This is the last JavaScript file that has some comments there. That's already in there. The question: do we add an extra space? It's an empty line in between, or are we not doing that? Let's check this one. This was not. That's not an empty line in there. Let's have a look at some other files here. Samples. Let's pick one. Auth, for instance. Where's the code in here? There isn't even copyright information in here. Scripts, JavaScript. This one has copyright and an empty line. Yeah, so that's not really consistent. Let's have a look. This is the Razor file. Let's make it for Razor file no an empty line. Although I find it a little bit better readable if you put an empty line in it. Like this. XML file. multiple root sections and items. It's already solved here. No, this one. Must be the first node in document. No white space characters are allowed. Okay, so we do need to remove that again, I think, yeah. Otherwise we have squigglies all over the place. (16, 32, and 80 optional, 20, 24, 40, 48, 64. Or we just put three icons in there. Save all. Let's see if it still runs. Build started. It's a little bit boring this to do this all for the pull request, but we have to comply to the rules that are in the Microsoft repo. They are asking for copyright items in each of the files, for like the JavaScript, HTML and C# files. And I also need to document things. Who is doing that? Documenting things. Yeah. Remove duplicate manifest file. That's already done. Check. Oh, why is it in insert mode? And the copyright for all the files, that's done now. And I would add razor file. Let's save this for today. Temp to do 2022-04-21. In case we have to check back what needs to be done. Well, kick in a word here, WinWord. Blank document. I wonder why my my bot is not posting anything. In the chat. Usually I get some messages in the chat, like follow and subscribe messages. But if you don't follow yet, then follow me and hit the bell to get notified in YouTube and following on Twitch. But the notifications in my chat are halted, I think. I'm not sure why. Looks like Stream Elements is not doing anything today. Interesting. No. Technology is The current session started 2 days ago. That's also not true because I reset my session. Let's see if it starts again. A few seconds ago. Well, the session is restarted. Let's bring in the add-in here. My add-ins. Shared folder. Blazor localhost. Let's refresh this. Add. And show the task pane. That should show the add-in. Nice. Let's see if it all still works. Oh, why is there 603 in there? Control F5. I thought I updated everything to 304. Let's check that later on. Let's see if it's still working. Set up the document, insert 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And we make content controls of the paragraphs. Turn them over. Tag the content controls. Now they have tags. If you go to developer and you go in design mode and you hit properties. No, not properties. You are going to select one and then properties. You see that this one is even. Although this is not even, this should be, that's interesting, it should not be even. This one is odd. Because this one equals, maybe this is 0 based. I don't know. Otherwise it's not even. Let's check it in the next step. Modify content controls. Now that's set even. That's true. So it is matching the content control, but this should be, if this is 1, that's not even. So that should be a bug in the system. 1, where, yeah, that's even content control 1, odd content control 1, but it should be shifted around. Interesting. That's not a bug. As you can see, you need to test your things. Modify, register event handlers. Let's go out of the event design mode first. Register. So now, if we go to the console, let's put this a little bit to the side here. Console. You see it's already added some handlers there. So if I now delete one of the content controls, the first, even, so that should kill the first red one. There you are, and it's triggered by the event. Content control deleted, and the selection is changed because it moved into the second one. Delete the first even. Now unregister this one. Oh, that was the first even. Again, remove the event handlers. And now the next one, delete first even, should not give an event anymore. And that's true. There's no change event on this anymore. Because this message came from the delete button. So let's have a look at the code there, because the even and odds are switched around. Don't save. Go back into the code here. On the first page is the index file. That's this one. And what goes wrong is this one, I think, on the tagging. So we have to go into the tag item here. Insert content controls. Here's the tag. Where's the tag separated from the code there? Tag content controls. And this is modifying so you can make it visible. So this one is not right. Unless that's it's zero based. See, it's zero based. It starts with 0. I would say for normal users, I would say this would be I equals to 1. And then go one more. That should turn it around. This one doesn't matter because it's based on the tag. But to be consequent, we can make that one and like this. Make that smaller or equal. Make sure that's correct. Less or equal. Looks good. So go back into the code here. Let's build that and run it again. See if it's still doing the right thing. Yeah, to be strict with that, we should do the same thing here as well. Oh no, that's not working. Is it? Because it also builds an array in there. I said that's tricky if we do that. Let's bring that all back to what it was. What's happening here? Like this. So let's go back to the tagging again. Because the content controls are not zero based, so this should be tagged the other way around, +1. That should be the easiest way. Let's do that. You can see it in the code also, because here in the code you see that it adds a number +1. So this content control number is not zero based. I wonder if that's now right. Well, let's just check that. So, awfully quiet in the chat. Quiet in the chat. It is still working. It is working, so apparently no one has something to say today. Insert, add in shared folder, refresh that, add it, show the task pane. Setup document, because we're enjoying the work and productivity. Yeah, actually we're not that productive because we are documenting things, and that's the boring part of the pull request. But I also found a bug there. Now let's tag them. Let's check the tags: developer, design mode, properties. You have to select the content control first, properties. Now this one is odd. That's better, but now let's see if the coloring is also correct. Still productive. I've been writing lots of docs lately. Yeah. But you get paid for it. This is all charity work. But it's fun to do. It's interesting. Where was I? Modify the content controls. And is that odd? It is. Odd content control 1. And this is even, and even the text is even, so that's correct. Last week even the even was not even. Even the even was odd last week, so that's confusing. Now let's delete. Now let's put here the event handler first, and then have a look at the inspection there. Console. The event handlers are in there, so now delete the first event content control. So it now should remove the middle one. Let's see if that's actually the case. Did something happen? I don't think so. No, I think I clicked remove event handlers. So let's do this again. Set up documents, convert content controls, and you see them cleared there. That's interesting because the event handler was still in there. Tag the content controls, then modify the content controls. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was not cleaned properly. Let's load that again. Home tab. Basically, that's another bug. So we should fix that as well. But that's as this is just for demo purposes. I'm not sure that's really needed. Convert content controls, tag content controls, modify content controls, and now register events. Yeah, that's now registered. Now delete the first one. That's now properly registered. Content control deleted. It's interesting because I did not select the content of it, so the change event was not triggered. If I do the same thing with the second one and delete first even content control again, now you see the selection is also changed because it's moving into the third one. And then remove the event handlers. Now the question is, can we do it again? Register event handlers. No, that's not working. If you repeat this, this will fail. Why is it failing? Cannot set properties of null. Line 172. Now it's starting on this one. Yeah, line 72. I need to check that if we run it twice, why will that be? Wow, that's a big dialogue. Let's go into the code quickly. Instead of documenting, I'm still debugging things here. Close that. Register events. So what happens if you deregister? Delete content control. I think this is step 6 and not step 7, because this one is following the other one. So what it's doing in here is going over all the content event context and then remove all the items. Event context, remove. Doing that, and then event context is a null. That will probably kill it. So if you register again, yeah, it starts with this one. And if I put it on null, I should initialize it again with this one. This one is used here. event context. What is it in JavaScript? Is that triple? Triple equal? Like this? And why is this gray? But this value is never read. Oh, this is now out of scope. Yeah, that should not be. It should pick up this one. Otherwise you get a new one. Let's try that. See if I'm a master in JavaScript as well today. Instead of a novice JavaScript developer, as I usually tend to be. Oh yeah, can wait for it, but nothing happens then if we are waiting for it. Blank document. Then insert the add-in once more to be sure. Refresh. Add. Setup document. Convert the document content roles. Tag them. Modify them. Now we have odd and evens. Now register. Oops. That's not allowed. Event context is not defined. Is that because it's nulled? Set variable JavaScript. Is it a good practice to set variables to null if they are not used? This is on JavaScript. Do. No, it isn't. Every local variable is deleted after the end of a function, but it's not local, it's a global variable. You can also turn it around, and instead of nulling it, just by initializing it again with an empty array. I use null for values that I know can have a null value. It's not the same as undefined. That said, if it's null and undefined, both will be true if it's null. My Safari books. My Safari books, that's a Mac, isn't it? Why do you put a link specific to Safari Books Online here? Safari Books Online, that's the book service, is it? You have to be a member then from Safari Books Online. SafariBooksOnline.com. Oh, that's O'Reilly these days. I used to have a subscription to Safari Books years ago. Oh, okay. Looking for the members library. I do have an O'Reilly account, I think. Let's check my password vault for that. We're drifting off again, but that's to fill the time. We're procrastinating on documentation here. Did you notice that? Oh, I even have some books in there. Building Enterprise Application Windows Presentation Foundation. That's a real book, an old book. It's 7 years old already. Coding Faster, Get More Productive with Microsoft Visual Studio. That's a real recommended book with a lot of shortcuts and things in there. Probably a little bit outdated. Maybe I should rewrite it into the 2022 version. Office 365, Connect and Collaborate, Virtual Anywhere, Programming Windows. Hands up, who doesn't own the Programming Windows book from Charles Petzold? I have the original one, I think the Windows 3.1 book or something. Windows Phone 8 development internals. Book by Andrew Whitechapel. Andrew Whitechapel, by the way, is the one who previously worked also for the Visual Studio tools for the Office system. And these days I think he's in the Windows team. Study Guide. The Microsoft Official Study Guide 2013 for Microsoft Word. Some little gems in here. HLSL and pixel shaders for SAML developers. Let's see, that should be MAUI developers these days, I think. By Walt Richer. Walt Richer is also this previously MVP, now working for LinkedIn, I think. Learning LinkedIn. Getting started Windows 8 apps. Windows 8 apps. A PowerShell for developers. guess these are all outdated, but it's not what I expected to be getting into. What's it called? The Safari books. There are no Safari books in here. Do not reason. Do not sell. Okay. Do not sell at O'Reilly.com. Okay, well, stop procrastinating here and go back to the code. Where are we there? So apparently that, what did we get? Razor JavaScript file 172. That's a different one. Oh, it's already complaining when going in here. So is that undefined? Let's make some logging there. Put in some logging. Here. But this will probably also fail. If it doesn't already recognize the event context in here, contexts. Oh, that's what you get when you're not using TypeScript. Darn it, stupid. TypeScript would have warned us for the typo in the naming. So that should be another thing, that we should rewrite our demo into JavaScript. And that's also a good playground to create a JavaScript Blazor add-in, because that's also in the context of Microsoft typed JavaScript thingies there. And that would have triggered an error while building the variable with the typo in there. Let's try this again. F5. Oh, we're still running it. Close that. Don't. Close that one. Run it. Let's chew another candy here. Put my microphone a little bit further away. Otherwise you hear me chewing. Win-word. Blank. Let's put the add-in back in. Refresh. Add. There we are. Setup document. Convert document controls. Content controls. Tag them. Modify them. Let's bring on the debug here. put it right on top of the chat window. Slight delay, so I need to wait till the screen updates. Yeah, that should fit. Tagged and handled. That's not right, tagged and handled, because it's only tagged, so that we need to fix that as well. Because now we should do register. Now they are registered, now they are handled. At least it did not fail. Delete the first content control. That's this one. And I put a cursor in there, so it should also give a selection change. And it did that. It deleted them and it put its selection change in there. Now let's remove the handlers again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. Now the challenge will be if we register them again. That worked. Delete this one again. Oh, you see it's already working with the selection changed worked. That worked. Remove the handlers again. So that seems to be working. Now let's quickly make this one an even one. Developer, design mode, properties. Let's make that even. What happens if we now do the modify again? And that's red again. And it puts in this twice. But at least now we have an even one again to delete. Delete the first content control again. And it did that. No selection change and no on delete. So that also works. So by accident we also cleared some bugs there. That's cool. So now go into here. This was all done. But now we need to comment the functions. That's boring. Let's go into this one first. So is there an automated JavaScript documentation thingy? This one, add JS docs comments. Okay. Is that a popular one? 228. Thousand JS doc. want to look for Fish Studio. Does that mean that the previous one that I found was only for Fish Studio Code? This one? Yes, Fish Studio Code. We can open it in Fish Studio Code. If we go in here, open containing folder, and we are cheating here. Here's the project. This one. Code dot. Then we need to put in the extension JSDoc. Why is this one 38,000 put before this one? And it's even in Chinese. Zhongqige something Zhen. Zhen. It's interesting they call Zhen Zhen. No, because there's no Zhen in there. I find it strange that it's sorted not on popularity, because I should then pick this one. Limitation: the extension does not support any other type of JSDoc tags, only calculates params and return. Param term types are not inferred based on usage. If a type is not specified, Meetwhat787. How are you doing? I'm fine. How are you today? Happy Thursday, would Defiance say. Today. Happy Thursday. Already. It's Thursday already. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's install this one. Is it already installed? That's quick. Let's try that on, let's say, root, and then this one. Then select this, and then Control tick. No, that's the terminal. Control escape, I think. Control escape. No. Oh, that's my light. I'm happy I'm finished another lesson, client-side validation stuff. That's interesting. Is that validation stuff on the Blazor core code or ASP.NET? How do we get the command thing in there? I should use my Visual Studio Code more. F1? Is it F1? Really? Thought it was something different. F1? It is. Add, what's the text? Doc comments. Add doc comments. Yeah, there it is. Wasm options. Do we use that? It's never used. Wonder what type these things are. Any. This is all new. HTML and CSS style sheets. Yeah. A lot of these things are new for me as well. So let's look for this. Google. Before start, Blazor. And the option there is to put in libmodule.js. Libmodule.js. That's the way it's done, like this. JavaScript interoperability. Before start, options and extensions. Before start is used to customize the loading process, logging level, and other options specific to the hosting model. In Blazor WebAssembly, before start receives the Blazor WebAssembly options in the sections example and extensions in the sections example. Added during publishing. For example, options can be used to custom boot resource loader in Blazor Server, but no, you're not using Blazor Server, you're using Blazor WebAssembly. In Blazor Web Views, no options are passed. Okay, and options and extensions. Options and extensions. But does it say something about the typing? Where are the types of these things? Are they just any? Reference, I'm looking for the reference. Where's the reference information for this? The JavaScript initializer executes logic before and after the Blazor app loads. JavaScript initializers are useful in the following scenarios: customizing how Blazor app loads, initializing libraries before Blazor starts up, and I'm using that to trigger he offers things before Blazor starts up. Configuring Blazor settings. The JavaScript initializer are detected as part of the build process and imported automatically in Blazor apps. Using the JavaScript initializer often removes the need to manually trigger script functions for the app when using Razor class libraries. To define the JavaScript initializer, he added a JavaScript module to the project named name libmodule.js, and that's what we see in our case. That's the name is Blazor adding libmodule.js, and that was recognized by the system. I also think it's options nicer if we put that in. Receive the Blazor WebAssembly options. Blazor WebAssembly options. And extensions in this section's example. Where's this section's example? It's never used, I think. Let's search for extensions. No, it's not in the example. Great documentation. They also need to document the things, I would say. So they tell me to document things, and these things are not documented. Reference. Reference documentation. This is where we just were. Deployment layout. Before start. There. Is it the same document or not? Detect if the publish extension is available by checking for extensions multipart, which is the extension name provided in the create Microsoft build something. Here it's used. Create a build task to customize the list of published files. Update the boot resource loader. After the app has started, revoke the object URLs to release the memory in after start function. Very interesting. I think we just do the same as Microsoft is doing. Just a reference to extensions and options. Before start calls, before boots up, this is exactly the documentation. Before it receives the WebAssembly options and any extensions added during publishing. Circuit start options. Let's go to the original documentation there. And copy some of this information. JavaScript initializers. Copy that, go into the code here. JavaScript initializers. Let's see if there's a pattern there for comments in the documentation. Let's have a look at Google JSDoc. Example returns. Is that all? How to add JavaScript doc comments on ECMAScript 15. Things are exported with /**. That's the comment on top. Module exports. Put a reference to this in there. JavaScript initializers execute logic before and after Blazor apps loads. Java description app loads are useful for these scenarios. Copy. Let's bring that in there. Something like this. Oh. Have one. Oh, yeah, I need to select things there. F1, enter, there you are. Color mixer. getting started. Function, this is a description, just putting the slash star star asterisk asterisk represents a book. Constructor, interesting. Before start, copy. Let's take that out. And end this with this. Then build another one. Formatting is different in here. Before start. Called before Blazor starts, for example. Then the same here. The after start. Where is it? There. After started called after Blazor is ready to receive calls from JavaScript. For example, after start is used to initialize libraries. After started, why do go? Yeah, this is after started. Yeah, after started. Yeah. After start is used to initialize libraries by making JavaScript interrupt calls and registering custom elements. I think that documentation is not really true. Because it should add something. The Blazor instance is passed to the after started as an argument. The Blazor instance. Okay. Why is there a light bulb there? Convert named export to default export. I don't think so. Because I have two of these things in there. Let's have a look at the other JavaScript thingies. Pages in here. F1, enter. It's nothing. F1, enter. F1, enter. We need to put some text in there. So what is this doing? This is doing getting the document context, get selection, and insert text there, and added a quote. Nothing more than that. This basic function to insert text into the current cursor location. And that's called quote by Emerson. Same thing here. But this one is by Chekhov. So you learn some things by Chekhov and Emerson. This one is doing getting document body, and this one not the cursor location but the into the start of the document. And copy that again. Oh, there's a asterisk too many. Copy. This is insert a Chinese proverb. And where is it putting that? At the end of the document. So we have one at the current location, one at the start of the document, and one at the end of the document. Next. This was already done. Hello world. F1, enter. Basic function to show how to add or insert a paragraph. Insert a paragraph. At the start of the Word document. easy peasy. Then index eraser. This one is more complex. F1, enter, and now remove that. Same thing here. F1, enter. Let's search for this. Google, because that Google with the EL at the end was transformed into Google with LE. Content control added event reference. That's there. What's this? Is like Hebrew. Let's try to make that English US. That's much better. That's the same thing, I think. That's the argument thing. There you are. Content control, event type, content control edit. Word, now we have content control, and on the content control we have events, here, on deleted. These are the two that we are using. Where is it? Here. That's the callback function, I think. Link to the full sample. Interesting. Why is that in there? Copy. That's a gist that you can load in ScriptLab. Insert content controls. This should go into there. Content control added handler. Step 3, handle content control deleted. We should copy that from here. Content control deleted. This is content control, no, handle selection. Selection changed event handler. This is tag content controls. Why is there no, yeah, that's this one. F1 enter, and bring this down. And this is no longer necessary, I think. This is the TypeScript version. Then step 4. Modify content controls to show of the change options. F1 enter. Step 5. Save. Register content control for deletion events and on selection change events. rated channel with 11 viewers. Crazy, I thought you were already finished with your stream. So you were watching while you were streaming again? Yeah, have a good appointment. Thanks for the raid. I really thought you were already stopped the stream and were just lurking. Deflux, yo. Hi. I have an icon for that. An emoji. That's the fun with the Twitch and not with YouTube, because YouTube is not showing all these things. F1, enter. Oh, I did not select anything. F1, enter. Deregister event. What we are doing today is, what was it? Kind for emotion thing with coffee. It's bits coffee too. Wow, that's a cool emoji. What are we doing today? We are last week we pushed the Blazor add-in to the official Microsoft GitHub repo. I think I have something there somewhere open here somewhere. In the Office add-in samples by Microsoft, if you go to the Office Dev, you see that's an official repository by Microsoft. And I had some discussions with the guys from Microsoft to put in my Blazor Office add-in as a sample in their official Office add-in samples repo. And I did that last week. And I got some feedback on that to put in some more documentation. That's probably typical Microsoft, but, because who else is documenting things these days? Well, I know everyone should do your documentation, but if your code is clear enough, your code is the documentation. But no, that's also not a valid argument, I know. F1, enter. So I'm doing a little bit of documentation before bringing it back in. Delete first content control, even content control, and then that should be going before the deregister, I think. So this should be 7. And the other one should be 6. If we check that on the add-in, just in a couple of minutes. Bring it back in, there. Save this. And have a look at here. Now there's a lot of comment in there. What is it called again? Documentation. Yeah. Never heard of it. Documentation. It's a Q. First in, first out. Yeah, and because this is a Blazor add-in, I have 3 kinds of documentation. One for JavaScript, one for C#, and also one for Razor files. They also asked me to put in copyright things, because Microsoft also wants to be sure that it's an MIT license, what I put in. Yeah, I think it's a bit more formal than I used to have this in place when building my demos. Let's build this and see if it's still working, and then check the order for 5, 6, and 7. If that's really the right order. instead of only building, maybe I should also start it. There's the Blazor demo with the... Now I have, instead of my own logo, there's this little porcupine thingy. That's basically the logo for the Office PNP repo things. In Word. Let's see if it still runs. Blank page. Insert the add-in that we just built. Shared folder. Refresh. Blazor localhost edition. And all of a sudden now my stream elements is starting to talk back again. It was completely quiet for up to 5 minutes ago, so it must be triggered by the raid from everyone. So let's trigger the add-in here. And now we have step 1. Setup document. Let's check that in the code here. Step 1. Step 1 should be setup document. That's true. Setup document. Then convert. Step 2 will be converting content controls to paragraphs. And to content controls from paragraphs. So now we have content controls. Now we are going to do step 3. That will be tagging. Tagging here. Step 3. Tag each content control. Tag them. So now if you go into the developer tab and design mode and select one with properties, you see it's now tagged with odd and even. Second one will be even, I think. Yeah, true. Then step 1, 2, 3, 4 will be decorating the content control to show the change options. Modify. So now they are nice green and red, and putting some even information in there. Even and odd. And then step 5. Register content controls for on delete and on selection change events. Right. So now we going to inspect that, and now we should have a handler here on the output. Added handler. So if we go into the first even item, and then we have option 6, I think. Delete first event. Yes, first even content control. Delete the first one, so that's the red one over there. You notice the event is triggered, deleted, and selection changed because it's moved into the second content control now. And now we are going to do the final step 7, remove the event handlers again. And now the 10 event handlers are now gone. So if I now do delete the first even again, you should see it is deleting, but there's no events triggered anymore. That's working. Happy to see that's still working. Let's see, what did we do this one already? Yes, the basic functions. The hello world is documented. This one was the heavy one with all the individual things. Then interact with paragraphs. Oh, there's some small steps. One, enter, clears the document. Let's put an empty line in between. insert text, insert paragraph. Now it is doing insert paragraphs on the specified location. Why is there all this empty crap in there? F1, enter replace paragraph. Replacing the text. Replacing with a G text in the last paragraph found in the document. F1 paragraph count. Guess what this will do? This will count the number of paragraphs in the document. Returns number of paragraphs. That doesn't return anything. That neither. I think that's this for this file. Request demo. F5, enter. Place the document again. Inserts text at a given location. In this case, that's after the current. It's not even adopting it. It's just hard coded. Can I put a thingy in there? Maybe I should put another thing in there. A shocked icon. Hard coding the location, so you can put in any location in the call of this function, but it will always put it after the location, after the current selection. So that's that. So that's all the JavaScript files, I think. Are there more? I think that's it. Already had this one going. No JavaScript in there. that's good. So we can close all of this again. Close that. Now go to the C# files. There. Yeah, not the namespaces. First add in. Oh. This will demo inserting quotes, famous quotes. Add the current selection, start or end of the document. Oh. Returns void. Oh, it will return a task. That's interesting. I would not expect that to return a task. Well, it does because it's async. Insert although. That's clicked on there. Blazor button handler. Update heading. Yes, this also returns a task. Clean it up a little bit because this is no longer needed anymore because we already put it all in. Go to the C# file. There. We'll invoke JavaScript function to insert Emerson quote. Copy. all a bit of redundant information. Insert checkoff quote, and then the last one. Insert Chinese proverb. Insert Chinese proverb. Not a quote, it's a proverb. Save. Go to next C# item. Basic function to invoke JavaScript. To invoke inserting a paragraph. We have a class also. Hello world. Starter class to demo how to insert a paragraph. Invoke function to JavaScript function to set up the document. Insert a couple of paragraphs. JavaScript function to transform the paragraphs, to surround the paragraphs with content controls. Then to tag the content controls with odd or even tags. Then invoke JavaScript function to modify the content controls give some decoration, colors, and info texts. Copy. Register content control events. Register events in case the content controls are deleted or selection was changed. Invoke function to revoke registration of events. Events for the content controls. Invoke JavaScript function to revoke registration of events from remove events from the content controls. Event handlers, I should say. Handlers? Yes. Delete content control. Invoke JavaScript function to revoke registration. No. To delete the first even content control. That should be it. Then the next one. Interact. Interactive paragraphs. This demo will show how to be able to perform very small in the Office.js model. It will show that it is not as efficient as using VSTO, because you need to invoke, do everything, because you always interact in a two-way system from C# to JavaScript interop. I'm not sure if I don't want to put that in, because I want people to get to that conclusion on their own. Return value class. Return value. Insert paragraphs. Performs a lot of small steps in one run. There is Happy Friday Eve. Welcome, Defiance. We were just talking about you when one lion raided this channel, and I mentioned that you used to say happy Thursday. At least that was on Tuesday, and now you're here on Friday. Almost Friday. I'm currently at 23:35. Oh, why is my Twitch monitor dying? Did I lose connection? Are we still alive? Oh, why is my mic whistling? Yeah, we're back. At least on my monitor, we are back alive. Not sure if there was a drop of connection there. A lot of small text in one run. Paragraphs. What's count paragraphs? That's not right. That should not be paragraphs. That should be paragraphs. Like that. Like so. 23 minutes to go to Friday. Get active documents. Is that something I used there? Something is missing here, I think. Oh, it's there. There it is. Count paragraphs. the interrupt, calls the interrupt to count the paragraphs. Paragraphs, doing it again. Paragraphs. Replace the paragraphs. Calls the interrupt JavaScript interrupt to replace the paragraph text. Happy Friday. Almost Friday Eve. Calls the interrupt JavaScript interrupt to insert paragraphs at the given location. Come on, location. That was already documented. Oh, there's another reference to paragraphs. Hello, sir. Scott from Denmark. Scott with a K and a D. Is that a regular naming in Denmark with Scott with a K and a D? Or is that a parody on your side, from your side? Cool. Oh, really? In Danish? Oh my god. That's terrible. In that case, I prefer Skull and it means shit. No shit, man. It's not a bad word though. Nothing offensive. Depends what you do with it, I think. If you throw it at someone else. C#, this one. This class shows the use of this class shows the use of what's it called? Request context. Like that, like so. Use of request context as opposed instead of using the word run option. but run is usually preferred to keep track of objects, but you can track it yourself if you like. So, request context. Context demo. I think setup is not even used here. Oh, it is. Run demo. In here. This triggers setup. Trigger setup, and then it's doing the request context thing. That's this one. Well, there's a lot of space in there. That's it. We have more program. That's the basic starter application initializer. That's all default Blazor stuff. CSS stuff, I think it's all in there now. So we do have 27 changed files here. And we did remove some folders as well. Okay. Let's run this and see if everything still works. Close all this, close all tabs and save them. Now let's run this. Yeah, load it in Word, blank page, and insert the add-in again, shared folder, refresh, select the local host one, and there it is. Setup document, convert document to content controls, tag the content controls, modify the content controls, then register event handlers, delete first. Let's inspect it quickly. So events were handled. Now remove the events, and the event handlers are now gone again. This demo is working, so go to the second one. First heading, clear the document there. Add quote from Waldo, from Antonov Chekhov, and a Chinese proverb, that's also working. Clear the slate again. Third option, hello world. Call office JavaScript, and that's working as well. Clear the slate again. Request context. Run demo, also working. Last one, paragraphs. Insert paragraphs, and now one paragraph in there. Let's put a few more in. We now have 5 paragraphs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. That's correct. I still wonder why this is still 603. Let's have a look at that again. All the demos are functional, so that's good. That's a good sign. Now let's go to the solution here. It says 604. Properties. We have only one startup, that's correct. So why is that using 604 then? .603 I should say. Let's try find it in here. Open file solution, where is it? Pick that one, then open containing folder. Command code dot 603 Blazor in NuGet packages 603. That's interesting. Why is that 603 then? NuGet packages. Do we have NuGet packages here? It says 604. Where do they put the version of the product there? Six oh three. Clean solution. What if we just drop the objects and the bin folder? And build it again. And run it. Yeah, loading 603. Interesting. Inspect. Let's see if we can find the framework there. There's 603. Apparently there's something in the cache or something. Blazor resources. Clear. Clear. Okay, let's run this again. Still 603. Where did it get the 603 version? Browse. Wonder where it is. Any CPU? Will succeed. Language version. If any of you have a clue where it's storing the target version, it should not be in there. Open containing folder. Back to here again. CMD. Then go to dot. Then find 603. Backup project. project. C# extension. There's 604. That's what it should be. That's a backup. I don't have this in place anymore. So there's no reference to 604 here. Interesting. So it must be cached somehow. Oh, I think it's cached in words maybe. Is it? Or in the browser itself? That'll work. Should we clear the cache here? Oh, where is it? Did it kill my browser? It did. It killed my browser. It did. Find the booty cat. Oh. Sure. Get the browser. Let's close all this. And then run this again. And then clear the cache from that. Settings. Settings. This takes just as long as the last time, I think. Why does it take so long? In the meantime, we can also start with Word here. Then options. Trust Center, adding catalog. Then next time clear all the previously started web adding cache. Clear, yes, okay, and close this again. In the meantime, we now got this as well, cache. Oh, I need to type it correctly, properly. Cache. Images and files, browsing history. Browsing history. Cookies, let the cookies be there. Passwords, clear that. Form, site permission. Okay. Close that. Dependencies framework. Is there like a reference for this? 603. Why is that in there? .NET packs. Let's go to the folder again. Open containing folder. Packages. This one is no longer needed. Open with notepads. There's no reference of the thing there. Let's see. CMD. What was I doing? Yeah. .NET. There's list SDKs. 603 preview. Runtimes. There's a 604. But why is it pointing to 603 then? That's not in there. We clear the cache, so let's try that first. It is at least installed. Packages. Let's run this again, because we now should have cleared the cache. I'm joking, sorry for that. Yeah. Oh, I hope I will stay here to Saturday. That was great. Happy Friday. Get me one of these coughing things before I die. 603. I think this is the issue. There's no way to change that. It's all pointing to 604. Google. Visual Studio incorrect. .NET Core framework. Select your project on the menu bar, file open. No, but that's already in there. Click this. There's all 6.4 in there. There's no 6.3. There's 604. There's no options here to change that. .NET Core. .NET Core. I don't know why. Oh. Because there's no references in the application itself. Oh, did I close Vistira? Oh, thanks. Great. Try to reopen it again. Yesterday. Package manager. Nothing. Well, okay, let's check this in. And then try to build that again. What did we do there? All of these things. Copy. Oh. Fixed a few bugs in the demo code. Commit all and sync. Let's do it. Successfully synchronized. So now go into GitHub and just try to test this. GitHub. Go to my repo there. No, that's the other one. Offset in samples. I need to go to my own offset add-in samples. This one. Take the branch. Then go to the code. Then copy the clone command. Then go to CMD. Go to data, repos, make directory 2022 0422, cd 2022 0422, clone the repo in there. Let's see what this will do. Oh, we have a new version of GitHub repo for the CLI again. There, cd office samples. cd samples. Let's go to, go to samples. Now the Blazor thing is not in here. Git status. Git checkout. What's the name of that thing? AAF VStem Blazor add-in. Blazor. Yeah. Now we see word Blazor add-in, cd word Blazor add-in. Blazor it in. That should give us a clean version of the Blazor add-in. Still 603, I wonder where that's stored. Yeah, I don't find it too interesting for now. Let's just run this and see if it's running. That's still running, still 603 by the way, but I don't know why that's, what's the reason for that. No clue at all. Oh. So there must be some information in there storing 603. When I have 2 open. This is the old one, so I should close that. This is the one still running. Let's find the folder. Let's also do this in run it in Word. Open containing folder. Code dot open settings. Controls whether to use blah blah blah. Apparently there is some information there on the NuGet packages. Project assets. What? Project assets in the object file. This is a rebuild based on what's in the that's in the object file. I thought I deleted the object and the debug folders. Let's close it all. Let's close this. Stop debugging, yes. Close that. That's the older one. Save that and close this. Then, why is this still a thing? Bin object. No need to pick the settings, I think. Unless there's a search use ignore files. That's a change. Service dependencies. I don't know. I really don't know where this is picking this up again. That's the manifest for Word. No changes. Now let's go to GitHub then. Go into there. Pull request. Wants to merge 7 commits into April 22, that's this one. Okay, so it's already in there. Yeah, cool. That's removed. Let's have a look at this one. Then search for 603. There's nothing in there. Pull request. What's this? Added sideload project for Blazor. Files changed. Sideloader.xml. Is this conflicting or not? Localhost. Blazor sideloader. That's interesting. Blazor add-in, there's a Blazor side loader. '19th, 3 days ago. so someone created a pull request on my Blazor add-in. One open, one closed. This wants to merge from to Blazor add-in. Okay. Let's try that. Then we have to go in here. To git changes. Then sync. Loading project. There we have site loader. Start document. So this should be the new Word document, and that will load the Blazor add-in. Okay. That's interesting. Wonder how that's done. So I think you need to do the properties here. Let's see what happens if we create a new project there. First Studio. Let's create a Word add-in. Create a new project. Where is it? Blazor WebAssembly? No. Word web add-in. That's the one. Test 22. Well, there's not much of interest there. Create. That's a tricky thing. It's late again. 12:40. Will be a short night again for me. Story of my life. So this creates a manifest file and a web file. And can we just run this F5? That's kicking in Word. Show task pane. That's called test indeed. So that's interesting. So let's see what the startup for that is. Don't save. Properties, startup test web, test, dependencies, test will be dependency of test. So we need to go into the other project now. Open Word Blazor in 2022. So we have to go to the solution here. Properties. Make that both startup. Multiple startup. Start. Then dependencies will be, side loader will be depending on Blazor add-in. Okay. So now if we run F5, let's see what happens. Starting Word, indeed. And it's side loading it. Wait for that it to load. Got it. Yeah, cool. So what if I close this, don't save, and now I going to open Word again, win Word. And now go into options, and then Trust Center, catalogs, and then remove these. Clear everything. Okay. So now if you open Word here with a blank document, we should not have any add-ins anymore here. And they should also not be visible in here. So now let's run this. Already side-loaded it. it's already in here, so open it. Setup document, that's working. Contact control. Modify, that's all working. Register event. Clean and remove event. Still working. Yeah, very nice. This application was built with linking tree shaking disabled. That's interesting. Does it show 603 here somewhere? There. I wonder why it picked this one. Well, it picked the SDK, but why did it pick the... Didn't it pick the other runtime? Or maybe it's just showing the SDK framework there. Well, at least this is very nice. Let's see what's in here. Git changes, there's a solution. That's the side loader. I think this is just formatting or something. That's making it dependent on the other one. So that's interesting. Good. Setting the startup dependency. Commit all async. Let's close that. Go to GitHub. So let's have a look at the pull request on the original one. No, this one. Pull request. Added the comments, fixed, removed the redundant manifest, merged div PR to sideload. What was the other thing? Comments. Where's the to do? There. Copyright headers. Comments. Yes. Add comments. Remove the manifest. Well, that looks great. I think it's ready to rumble. Oh, you're not allowed to say that. That's copyrighted. Cool. Let's wrap this up then. Go to the main screen there. So what we did was preparing the sample for the official Microsoft repo, and it should be coming in there soon. If you want to go have a look at that yourself in the official Microsoft repo, then here is the link. You can have a look at it, install it in your Visual Studio and start it in Word, and you have this small add-in doing all these interesting things in Blazor. I was thinking I was sharing my screen, but I was still on the main screen already. This one. Cool. Let's see if we can have someone still alive. Iris John Games is still alive. Let's start the raid there. Thanks everyone. Talk to you later and see you next time.